I was told that maybe something could happen in Syria, and because they said someplace, and I said Syria, and they're like, no, it's not Syria, it's blah blah blah, and I'm like, I've never heard of that, or if I couldn't understand, but I kept thinking like India or Syria or something like that, and that something might happen there. I don't know what, because it was like, I believe I can see the future because I repeat the same routine. I guess that's all I had to say. But I mean, about the song, and those that forget history's doomed to repeat itself. If you forget, history repeats itself. So just by knowing the repetitiveness of natural human behavior and instinct, you can foresee the patterns coming of an arisal of something that may lead to their destruction, of their own doing, their own demise, their own creation of their own free will. They created their own destruction. And so if you're in tune to things like that, you might be able to see it, And so I forget the name. It was a weird country name. I forget. It was like Boobala Dabala, Syria or something. And I'm like, fuck. How am I going to remember that? I'm like, Syria? They're like, no, it's Boobala Dabala. And I'm like, what's close to Boobala Dabala? And they're like, I don't know. So I'm like, it's weird that everybody has to go to work, and I don't know anybody that doesn't. But the weird thing, I've never met anybody, maybe besides females or something, and they're usually like, they're different than males, but it's like every day the same routine. I watch everybody get up and go to work, and how everybody does it, and how I thought I would just do something a little different because I did that, and I said, well, I don't like that. Well, what if I can do something different? My friend, he like got depressed and was like, I don't want to go to work every day. I was like, well, if you don't work, be prepared to be depressed to not have any money. And I said, look forward to that if that's what you're going to do. But if not, and you want money, then you have to go to work. And it's like, what do you want to be? Do you want money, or do you not want money? He's like, no, I want money. Then you have to be a zombie, and you have to go to work every day like everyone else. If you're like me and you don't want money, that's a different story. But it's like, I always say there's functional zombies, unfunctional zombies, and it's like, there's an unfunctional zombie right there all the time. Doesn't go to work or do nothing. And it's weird because it's like, yay, good for them, but then again, I don't think it was like in the way like I do it, because it's like, I do it because I know what I'm doing. They're just an unfunctional zombie. So I'm like, well, that's kind of strange, because never, even though I know them, they usually don't live in apartments. You know? So it's kind of strange, like someone's paying him or something. And, you know, he would say, like, he just says his mom pays it or something. And it's like, nah. Because it seems like someone pays it, and they pay it for a reason. Because he's actually on the clock. Because there's no such thing as unfunctional zombies that live in apartments. Even I have to do functional things. I know I'm not an unfunctional zombie. That's the difference. I'm not an unfunctional zombie. Can't spell their own fucking name. That's kind of like the deal going on. Can you hear it? This is some kind of harassment that I'm experiencing. And it's in a total gaslighting manner. Because if they just kicked down my door and robbed me, and they're doing something. Dude, there's something wrong out there. This is like gang stalking or something. Like real deal. Like a gaslighting type. They want you to think you're crazy, but I'm too strong. I'm too like agile mentally and physically for them to fuck with me. I bathe in this shit, type of shit, dude. I love it. Like, I define my existence through their fucking misery that they give me. Whether it's their intimidation, harassment. You know, I noticed Alex Jones made a video and a woman just comes up and bumps into him. Like, same thing happened to me that day. I don't even know what to say. It's just so weird. I'm like, just kind of weirded out. Like, you know, I was watching this, I think it was the Maine prepper. I was watching his video and he's like, with the Patriot nurse, and he's like, be mentally prepared for hardship. And you may have to go to the wilderness. Now, that's something I've considered. But I'll tell you what, in researching about it, If these people are gang stalkers, or you're microchipped or something, and you're just like their cattle, you're not getting to any wilderness. You know, they can put up their antenna and go boop boop, and it's like, you see them do it to snakes, you see them do it to whales, you see them do it to any animal that is wild. They microchip it, and then they're like boop boop boop. I have a theory that you're probably microchipped and you don't even know it. They've talked about smart dust and all kinds of shit. I really don't care, honestly. I'm not that paranoid to care. But I know it's true because they're cattle. You're not getting to any wilderness. Even if you're there, they're going to know exactly where you're at. You're sewing up on their antenna on their satellite. You carry one of these, you're microchipped then, at least. Even if it began with this. This is a GPS tracking device. It knows how fast you're going, your direction, where you're headed, taking pictures front and back. And you like this thing. You like being tracked, traced, and monitored. You know how much this thing's running itself dead? Every day now it runs itself dead. They're obviously listening in and using the battery, because I charge it every day and it's going dead, and it's not why would it do that? It's running itself dead. They're doing something. I don't really care. I think that's the problem with you people. You're unable to give a fuck. I call it the piranha theory, where it's like a horde of these things are worse than anything. Like a horde of just zombies. People that are just dumb. They don't have to be infected with any virus. They just have to be really stupid. And that's not actually that hard to do. You throw in peer pressure, social manipulation, advertising, money, any kind of influence to just dumb people down, and then keep them there, and then use them as like a herd lynch mob, like the Ku Klux Klan lynch mob or something, you know. Lynch mob. That's not like, that's English, you know, lynch mob. Like, if you don't know, you should look it up. Like, it's like one piranha doesn't strip you to the bone. Like, imagine, like, out in a video of Alex Jones, he like gets bumped into, and he's like, "Oh, are you gonna bump into me?" Now imagine if that lady's a piranha and she bumped into him, and he's like, "Oh, one bump ain't a big deal." But what if they made a whole bunch of stupid people and they all just started bumping into him? He might like get trampled by like a horde of lemmings or something, you know. Maybe. I don't know. It just seems like that to me. And I call it the deception, when you don't know what they're going to do. Like, they gang stalk you, but, you know, it's a gaslighting technique. Like, they're not going to take it to the next level. And they even if they did, it doesn't matter. Like, you know, it's like they could just kick down your door and eat your brains right there if they wanted. But they don't. They might use just a harassment So I call it the deception when it just seems like nothing, like when their actions seem iffy, like, you know, when you notice something but you're like, it's on the verge of being too much. You're like, if they went a little bit more with it, it would. And I think that doesn't keep them from doing it. They still will do that, but. And it's like, you know, if they're zombies, if they're real life, like, lobotomized retards, but it's like we all live on this planet. We all just want to eat and live and have nice things or whatever, have a nice house. But it just seems like, I don't know what words to use to describe it. It just seems like there's more going on. Like, a lot of times I've gone to work and I've done everything I was told, and I have fun like anybody else, and I feel normal. And then I feel like the world kind of just shows me a little more about that. Almost like it wants me to see more, instead of your average zombie, and like that it knows I can handle it, or that I ask questions. And so it's almost like I'm shown how we live in a dystopia. And so I'll be like, tell people, like, what, you know, what do you just want to be a zombie, or do you want to fight back? And so, you know, it's like, you know, I can help them be whoever they want to be. They don't have to be who I want them to be. And if they're like, I just want to be a zombie, I'm like, well, then go get a job. And so they do that, and they're like, yay, I like life being a zombie. And I'm like, good for you. If you find happiness in that, then go ahead. There's a lot of people that I feel like I've helped a little, you know, to get them to achieve their goal. And it's the law of attraction, willpower, just anything, you know. My friend, he wanted to go into football, and he felt like it wasn't a real dream, like he couldn't actually make money. And I said, don't let people fool you. If that's your dream, you make it happen, because if not, you'll be doing something else and you won't be happy. And so he went and did that, and he always thanks me, and he said, you made me believe that I could do my dream, and I did it, and I'm happy that I did it. Just like you said, like, do your dream, or else you're going to be wishing you always did. My problem is, I don't know what I want. I do, but then again, I don't, because it's like, what I want depends on the world's response to what I want. It's not that I care what they think. It's that, it's like, if it's cold, I'm going to want a coat. If it's warm, then I want to go swimming or something, you know. But it's like, it's hard to go swimming if the riptides are bad, or the water's flooded or something, you know. So it's like, what I want depends on different things, but not that I even know what I want. That's the fun part. At least if people know what they want. And I always think, what do I want? I just want to just do whatever, maybe be like anybody else or whatever. I don't know. Like the people I know, they get up, they go to work, they're gone, they come home, they watch TV, they go back to bed, and they do some more shit like that. Those are functional zombies. They're easy to spot. You don't have to worry about them. Functional is a lot better, and it's like non-functional ones. It's weird because you're like, I mean, not all the time. Like they could be non-functional and it don't matter. But if they're like gang stalking you or harassing you, it's more obvious. They don't have a job. They have more time to do it. That's why it only makes sense that he's getting paid to do it, because that's what he's doing. He doesn't do anything else. And I believe that you could absolutely get paid by someone to do it. It doesn't seem that far out there that somebody might just pay his rent to have him stalk me. For what reason? Just because they simply fucking can. That's it. They don't have to have a reason. I've learned that way too much, is that people do things and they don't have to have a reason. And even if there is a reason and it doesn't make sense, what does it matter? If they do something, they do it. And if my tire goes flat on my car, I keep a spare. I'm not going to be like gaslighted into believing I don't have a flat and spares don't exist and don't fix your life. And don't talk about it. You're really just crazy. And if they use that to say I'm crazy, it doesn't matter, because I'm going to say exactly what they're doing, how they're doing it, and they can, I'm only one person. Sure, if you want to believe there's more of them, if you want to believe them, then fine. But I don't see what would make you feel safe that they can get away with doing whatever they want to me, but you're okay because you do everything you're told. It really doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. Zombies eat brains. And I bet they're like just drooling for my brains. They're like, look at that head. It's like a big nut with the walnut inside. Like, let's crack it open and eat the soupiness. I don't know. I've noticed like zombies don't notice the lynch mob. This is their harassment. Listen. First they went over here and did it. Now they grab something and go by the window like a leaf blower or something, and they're like, right here. These people, they take drugs, they do whatever. I was telling somebody that they take drugs, and they're like, oh, so you take drugs with them? And I'm like, you're retarded. Why even bother talking to you? I don't. That's why I'd rather make a video, and hopefully the smart people can understand what the fuck is, because I don't expect stupid people to be able to understand anything. This is their harassment here. You want to know something fucked up? There's no grass over here. There's none. There's nothing. There's my window here, and that's it. And, you know, for no grass going over there, he spends a lot of time at that window. You know, if he lives there, and he stands there all day, and you can hear him fucking around all day when anybody else, you think it's like there's 1,000 people that's lived here before him. He moves in all of a sudden, and he's a zombie. But everyone else had jobs and lives. You know, 1,000 people before him lives normal life. Then this guy moves in, and he's like, I smoke crack. My mom pays my rent. And you're like, yeah, right, whatever, dude. And there's no grass out there. And even if there was, it's like this much up against the building. One swipe should be done. Instead, this is their harassment. How long will they do that for? If they finish quickly, I'll believe that, hey, that's normal. Even if they're not like paid gang stalkers, they are, and they just don't know it. They're called useful idiots, pawns, puppets, Ponzi's. But it doesn't always matter, I guess. I would say, like, now that he's not just standing out there next to my window. Makes me think maybe he is just doing a job or something. I think maybe he wants me to just fix the thing for him. That's why he's bothering me. He said it wasn't working, and it's like, I don't really care. Fix it your damn self. There's 2 bolts on it. Take them off. Blow on it. And then put it back. Wow, that's what I would have done. Get a brain, dude. I don't have a life because fucking hate them. That guy is just a zombie. He doesn't have any reason. He doesn't know anything. There's a difference between someone that's saying no and someone that's saying I don't know. And someone that says yes. It's like, I don't know, people are like zombies. They don't know. They don't know nothing. They don't really do anything either. Except they take meth and heroin. And then I guess people think that's what I do. And it's like, so why is it that these people take heroin and then they think everybody else does because they do it? I don't want to be a zombie like them. It's easy not to be. It's easy not to do heroin. It's easy. You just don't do it. But for them, they have to. They're zombies. There's actually a lot of movies, and you know, the crocodile drug, that's like the flesh-eating drug. They like made a video game about that where you're in the city and everybody's turning into zombies, and it's the drugs. They got The Last of Us where it's cordyceps. They got The Happening where it's like plant toxins or something. When I don't have a life, I'm actually out hanging with, like, if I'm an unfunctional zombie, I go hang out with my friends. Usually at their apartment, or house, or somewhere else. Maybe camping or something. This guy never does anything, ever. And when he does, they're heroin addicts. And it's really weird. He's a total fucking zombie. I might look something up online. I actually learned something. I think people think they're incapable of doing that. They're incapable of looking something up and then learning it. Like, if I want to fix my car, my car has a warped head, and I have to fix that now. And I've never fixed a warped head or warped valves. I'm going to do it, so I have to look it up. And just looking at it and just sucking in that info and just watching, they're like, this is a valve. This is how you reseat a valve. Now you know how to reseat a valve. Wow, that was so hard to do. And now I know, and people act like this is impossible. My brain hurts. You just talked about valves. And it's like, when I first didn't know a damn thing about engines, and you were like, valves, and I'd be like, what the fuck is that? I'd ask, what the fuck is that? And I'd pick their brain, and I'd listen to every little thing that they had to tell me. I wouldn't talk over them or be condescending to them. I would shut up and listen. And they might say, you're shy, and I'm like, well, I don't know, I'm just trying to get to know you. And once I get to know you, I might not be as shy, because then I don't have to think, what do you know that interests me? And then shut up and talk. Listen to them. Maybe they know. And so I realized that's why zombies don't talk certain ways. They don't think you know any. They're afraid. Like, if they knew that you were more intelligent than you, they would be afraid of you. It's intellectophobia. They don't want to. It's like the lady that bumps into Alex Jones and says, get the fuck out of my way, is afraid of his intelligence. And they're like, you bully us. We're just useful retard lemmings. Just push him and maybe he'll leave if we push him and bully him. Oh, Obama. And it's like, I was told there's something there's an apocalypse taking place on a beautiful day with your friends and everybody, and it's happening like under the cover. Undercover. There's like a secret apocalypse. You're living in a prison planet, but you don't want to hear that. Like, that's not asserting you in your lemming belief, your herd mentality. Let me curl my lip as I say it. Maybe it'll sound better. You know, because I know that's how you guys are. You're like curled lip fucking zombies. Oh, but it takes so many more muscles to smile. Then what? Frowning? You're bad at math too. You're like, if frowning takes 26 muscles and it takes 16 to smile, that means you have to use more of your brain to smile. And I'm like, you said it takes 26 muscles to frown. 26. And then you said it takes 16. So it's lazier and you're using more of your brain. And they're like, well, it takes no muscles to sit there with a stupid look on your face. And it's like, let's see. Does this bitch have curled upper lip problems? Wait a minute, her mouth is fucking closed. Granted, I found this in the trash, but it says $30 on it. So someone bought it for $30 at some point in time for this to even end up in the trash. She sounds kind of smart. Why don't she have that curled upper lip looking problem right there? Interesting. So it's like, you know, they don't even know math. If it takes more of your brain and more muscles to frown, and their defense about smiling is it makes you smarter and shit. It's like, could anybody be lying? And could we even use their own math and analogies to prove that they're fucking lying? I guess they can't count, because 16 is not as many as 22 or 26 or whatever it is. That's the problem with these people, is their own flawed logic doesn't make any fucking sense, and they don't care that they're not rationalizing anything at any point in time. They're not able to think for themselves and have their own opinion. They need to be told what opinion to have and when to have it through the television and the asserting. That's why they don't like me. I don't assert them. They have to be asserted. If they're looking for assertment, and then they come to me and I'm like, I'm not asserting you. And they're like, you suck. I need to find some other lemming zombies that regurgitate the same mindless nonsense I do. It's like, I like Alex Jones. He kind of regurgitates the shit on my level that I like. And I notice he's called alternative media. You know, he's not mainstream. He's not Fox News, MSNBC, CNN. He's a different opinion. And you're not going to be asserted in the opinion of the mainstream if you watch Alex Jones. Or whatever. And that you're not, if you watch mainstream, you're not going to assert me in my opinion on Alex Jones. Nobody really watches Alex Jones, though, because he's not mainstream. People want to be lemmings. They don't choose. That's the thing. They don't make their own choices. They choose what's trendy and popular to be a lemming. So black sheep. Black sheep means that you're still a sheep. You're just not a lemming. It's like sheeps don't have to be lemmings. They're not really born lemmings. You could have like a black sheep. That's not a lemming. Still a sheep, just not a lemming. Still a human being, just not a lemming. The black sheep. And I think what really happens with the black sheep is he's not leaping off cliffs every fucking 10 seconds. And everybody can say, your life must suck because you don't leap off cliffs. And the black sheep might actually say, no, your life might suck because I'm not leaping off cliffs all the time. So I think lemmings are rewarded for jumping off the cliff. They're rewarded with money. A black sheep might be rewarded in a totally different fashion by watching them jump off the cliff and splat to their own death. There might be their own reward and satisfaction that he wasn't that dumb and didn't do that. And they can all believe how wonderful and great it is to be a lemming and stupid. But the black sheep has his own satisfaction when he's sitting there and he knows, and he's looking at the pile of dead bodies at the bottom of the cliff that they all jumped off. And they're sitting there and they're like, I feel rewarded that I'm not that stupid, that I'm laying at the bottom of that cliff with all those other dumb fucks. So, it's like, if my friend asks me, I'm unhappy, and I want to get a job, should I do that, or something? And it's like, sure. What do you want to do? I'll tell you what I do, and I can tell you what other people do, and then you can make a choice. Your choice. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm going to give you two options. Give you the choice. And whatever you choose, I support you. Oh my God, can you actually do that? No. And so he's like, I want to be a zombie. And I'm like, luckily, I myself have been a zombie, and I also look at other zombies, and I know exactly what they do, so I can tell you how to live your life as a zombie and be happy like them. But the thing is what if you chose not to do that? No one does that. And they're like, I want to be a lemming. I want to do what everybody else is doing. And I'm like, okay, this is how you do it. And so they do it, and they're happy, and they're like, thanks. That's exactly what I wanted. And it's weird how none of them can choose anything any differently. That's amazing. And even if it's like, the unfunctional zombies, they don't choose that. They're just not smart enough to do the same thing everybody else does. That's not me. I resurface my fucking heads. I think I'm smart enough to do things. It's the choice that really counts. The choice where I say, I don't have to do that. And God will support me in that idea. And I don't have to rely on God. You can respect Him or whatever, but I don't need to pray to Him. I don't need Him. I'm a strong, capable individual of my own. Now they're throwing rocks at my window. And it's weird that they did it right when I said I'm strong and capable of, like, they wanted to just, like, that bothered them. They're like, you're strong and capable of, like, it's like that's the moment when Alex Jones is bumped into by a zombie, and he's got those glasses on, and I know he can see that she's fucking like a They Live zombie looking bitch. And Alex is like, I'm strong and capable. Oh, don't bully me. We want to take your rights. Let's bully you, but don't bully us. Let's bully you. And it's like they're afraid of intelligence. They're afraid of courage, strength, independence. They're lemmings. They seek to be destroyed, and they love that, and they seek a reward and a happiness within that. That is their own pain, their own pleasure from their misery. There's two ways to get pleasure out of misery, and the way I do it is actually different than the way they do it. They want to be miserable. I don't want to be. When I fight that misery, and I'm like fighting zombies, the very thing that makes me miserable, I define my existence through fighting what makes me miserable. They define their existence by being miserable and wanting to be miserable. There's a difference there. A very key difference that maybe if you don't have any brains, you're not going to understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. There is a difference between me and a lemming. A difference in belief and everything. If they erased all my brain and they just went and I forgot everything, who knows what would happen then. But as I think today and right now, I know that they seek happiness through misery, and they want to be miserable. They want it. And whatever way it comes, they like that. I don't want to be miserable, and I fight against it. And that battle, the struggle of survival is what defines me for who I am. That's a huge world of difference that they're incapable of comprehending. They lay down when I stand up and fight back, even though it's incredibly hard, and that defines me for who I am. People might look at me and say, why are you so depressed? It's hard to fight a horde of zombies every day of your life. You simply lay down and think you're safe within it. No, you're going to jump off a cliff one day. Trust me. In fact, don't trust me. Don't listen to me. Go leap off the cliff, because there is a type of reward that I'll receive at that point, and that's watching your own destruction. I prepared 2 cups of coffee. That I brewed myself in a popcorn maker with green unroasted coffee beans. And I made a Cubanian coffee. This is a Cuban coffee. You can look that up. Cuban style. Colombia. 100% Colombian coffee. We will rise above this bullshit. Their lemming bullshit, all that shit. We will fight it. We will rise above it and be reborn again within it. We will die fighting the zombies. Be reborn. Rise above it. And evolve from that. Be enlightened from that. Our ring of scars will give us strength and will define her. There's a no-lifer. No-lifer. You have no life. That's right. You chose to have no life. You don't even know, you don't even have the ability to understand a choice. You're brain dead. That's the difference. The choice. You're incapable of choosing. And that's, you're incapable. That means you never had a choice. You can say, no, I chose this or that. No, and no one chooses. It goes against all lemming, herd mentality, peer pressure, social manipulation instinct. Asserting. It goes against your assertment that you're brainwashed. You have to be asserted in your belief of your brainwash that you want to be a lemming. That's what you're looking for. That's what I don't provide. If you want to be dumbed down, there's a million. They say that the internet dumbs people down. It does not dumb me down. I'm not distracted by endless amounts of mindless nonsense just to keep you dumbed down and mindlessly entertained for hours on end. You fear this light. You fear knowing truth, wisdom, right from wrong, up and down, 1 + 1 = 2. You're afraid of that. You're afraid of making sense. Why are you so serious? You know why? Because you're unable to think for yourself. Everything's a joke. the curled lip. Buried. Your conditioning is buried to the high. Like, I noticed I was listening to the self-help, and the lady was like, I know about self-conditioning. And she didn't elaborate on that. Because that's what those are. They are self-help, self-conditioning. She obviously knew. He's out there again. Right there. A no-lifer. Is that like pro-life? No life? Living aborted fetuses? There's aborted fetuses everywhere. Like, you could make a mural of skulls. Like, you could fill the whole walls full of just dead baby skulls, and they could just look at you, and it'd be like some weird, like, Necronomicon art, like from Aliens or something. Like the Alien movie. And it's like, that's why people, they'll like look at that. They're like, I like the Necronomicon art because it reminds me of how many aborted fetuses There are every year, and it's like that's why he made that, like defining themselves through the darkness of people, like it's like the Borg, like half machine, half baby, aborted fetuses. Pro-lifer, no-lifer. My friend told me that his slave job pays him $5 an hour. Oh my god, dude, that is so illegal. The minimum wage is fucking... I would say go there and let them pay you, and then let them pay you for a while. I'd work there for a year, but then I'd get a lawyer and sue the fucking living shit out of them and make way more money, dude. You know, a lot of people won't do that because they feel like you're ripping someone off. No, dude, they were that's why you're going to go to court and sue them. You think a judge is going to just say, oh yeah, you want free money, here, I'm going to rule in your favor? No, they're going to say, no, the law is $8.75 an hour, you were paid less. I don't care who this is a main place. This is like Frisch's, you know. That's why he was like prank calling them and shit. Oh, okay, no, he said not $5 an hour, okay. I read that wrong. I hate that. I hate it when I read things wrong. He says he started at 5 o'clock. Man, I feel dumb. Yeah, I guess they do have to follow the laws. It's funny, when I worked, minimum wage was $5 an hour, and it was like that forever. And when they finally changed it, it was like 5, 6, 8. You know, it like jumped 7, and it happened like really quick. And I don't even know. It might be more now. I don't even know, because I went to go get a job, and it says minimum wage, blah, blah, blah. No-lifer. Pro-lifer. Zombie-ism. I did not want to have this problem today. I'm sitting here knowing that there's zombies outside. I kind of just like watching Alex Jones and watching him stand up to him and thinking, like, how the hell can you even do that? Being inspired by it. That's my hero, like Alex Jones. But, you know, don't let them use that against anybody. Oh, Alex Jones is crazy because I like him. Alex Jones should be censored and shut down because I like him. That's why a lot of times I'll just say I don't like him, because I'm like, I don't want me to somehow discredit him. You know? When really it's the other way around, like, me liking him discredits me. Right? I use a new shampoo. It feels really clean. Is my nose shiny? A little, not that bad. Yeah. Expensive soap works kind of good. They're there again. No lifers. No life. It's not how the other people do it. It's like they wake up, go to work, come home, do it again. They might have a day off. And even then it has a normal feel to it. Like, you feel the normalcy of it, and you're like, you don't even care. You're like, oh, okay, there they are, they're normal, it doesn't matter. What is that, like 5 times? It's not normal. They're still there. What is that? No, that's 6 times in a second. No, now again. That's 7. We'll go. Listen. We'll add more if it happens again. It ain't right. Only zombies can do that. A functional zombie would make a different noise as they did it. Like the sound of clothes in a hamper. That's probably what they're doing then, is doing their laundry. Even then, I only go down like twice. Down, no. Let's see. I think you do it 4 times. Because you go down, put it in the washer, come back up, go back down, put it in the dryer. I don't know, maybe check on it, see if it's done. If it's done, take it out. If you're patient, it should be 4 times for 1 load. If you're impatient, when you're checking on it, That's 8. Nine. Now they're just standing there. They're just standing. Just standing there. Functional zombies don't do that. They don't have time to care. Whoever's doing this is trying, they like care to do that. They're doing that on purpose. You could tell if it was just, if you had a kid might just be running around, fucking around. That's you're like, okay, that's just whatever, you know. If it's a female doing her clothes, it's obvious. Even sounds obvious. You're like, oh, that's just that. It's like the sound, the repetitive sound of a functional zombie is very clear and evident. Like, oh, that I've heard that before. I know what that is. But when it breaks that normal, and you're like, hey, wait, this is not normal sounds I'm hearing. This is something else going on. And wait a minute, it's every day, and it's only one person. Every day, 24/7, they don't have a job. How is this possible? Well, let's think of some things. That's something you would never do. Let's just come up with some ideas, some opinions. What comes to mind first? A lot of stuff. I don't even know where to begin. And then how can we rule? Okay, we have a theory. How can we disprove it? Is that something you ever do? You ever try to like rule something out, or just entertain that idea just as a thought? Like, you're afraid to think. You're like, no, never think, assume nothing. It's not that you want to jump to conclusions, but for me, it just makes me aware, like, all it's doing for me is telling me, like, I'm asserted in my belief that when the further I am away from that, the happier I'll be. And so the more it happens, the more I want to get away, which eventually will result in me being happy at some point in time. The longer I have to deal with it will probably mean the longer I'll remember that, and the longer I'll stay away from that. That's what it means for me. I can't do anything about it right now. Can't do anything about it. There's this, I have to wait for things to initiate. It's like your car's running, but the transmission's not engaging. So it's like you gotta fix the transmission so it engages, and then you can drive down the road and get the fuck out of here. And let them be unfunctional and me be my own thing that they don't understand. And I can only imagine that they would probably follow me for whatever reason. I don't know. I'd say like I live in their prison. They seem to have all the money and the resource and the power. It's probably why they do that stuff. So I'm thinking, how can they do that when no one else can? Everybody else has to go do something. That must be their job. Because it goes against every other normal thing. Ever since I've been 16, I recognize the sounds and how they sound and how they relate to what is going on. And when that differs, and I'm like, hey, this is not the sound of someone going to work, or the many other things that functional people do. This is the sound of something weird. And I can't say that I like it because it sounds weird. And they might say the same thing about me. It's like I'm alone, my own private space. They're the ones that are breaking that privacy barrier, standing at my door all day, listening to me. I think I have the right to say whatever I want in my own home, as long as it's not really bad, you know, racist or whatever. Or, you know, there's a lot more than that too, you know, violent, whatever. I'm not trying, I want to be good, but have my opinion in a good way. And I feel like this is my good opinion. And they want to block it, shut it down, shut me up. It doesn't assert them, so they harass and stalk me to shut me up because they're worried that they'll lose money for their oil or something. If you talk bad about coal, the coal miners might troll you when when the CEOs give a fuck less. The CEOs are not going to go and censor blogs about people talking bad about coal. It's going to be the useful lemming dumb fuck idiots with the black lung and their families, like Alex Jones getting pushed by some fucking big fat retard lady and her like 50-year-old bald husband, or 60-year-old. There's a lot of money in keeping people stupid. I'll pick my nose. It itched. People recognize me and they see me and they're like, hey, are you gonna have a yard sale today? And I'm like, yeah or no. And they like like me, they respond to me, they know me, they want to see me. I'm well known now. I'm known for what I do, and I'm well respected in that, and I've defined it and I like it, and it's the only thing that can keep you out of the prison planet, but at the same time it surrounds you. But that's all we all try to do, is live our lives, and that's all I'm trying to do. But at the same time, we live all in a prison where it doesn't want you to live your lives. And so you can be living your life thinking that that's right, but it's like you're living. Like when I go out into the world and do my work, I'm living. I have a life. They want to stop that. They want to shut it down and put you in a little prison. And so we are living in that. Not only are we trying to live, but they're trying to imprison us. That's why I say we live in a prison and shit. That's why I get so pissed at people and call them zombies, because the longer you're a zombie, the longer we're in prison. These people are the prison. Those people are the prison. Those type of people. Not even just that type, but everybody really. They all contribute in, whether they're functional or not. Those that, if good people do nothing, they simply allow evil to triumph. That's why I'm like, you need to just say no. And I have a new theory. I notice I watch things happen. I'll be like in a restaurant eating, and I'll notice, like, if there's a kid at the booth, you know, I'll be sitting there eating and I'm not paying any attention, but I can hear them go like, "Mommy, no." And they're like, "You don't tell me no." And then when they grow up, they're not able to say no. Like, "No, I won't do that." No. No, no, no. They don't have that. Even if they do, it's about the dumbest thing you could imagine. It's like they were told not to say no, but they can say no, but it's only about smart things. Like, they were taught to be stupid and to say yes to everything stupid, but then no to anything with any thought. So it's like it's reversed from what it should be. Like, they're trying to start a conflict. That's what they're doing. That's what Justin did. Justin did the same thing. He tried to start conflict. He fed on the conflict. He was like a Pac-Man. He would sit there and be like, "No, no, 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 no." And he knows it too. You see, their repetitive behavior is very repetitive and instinctual in the wrong way, really. That's why when you can pick up on that repetitiveness and say this behavior matches the same repetitive behavior that this other person did, wait a minute, you're telling me something. I think I've heard this before. let me turn on the TV and see if they're saying the exact same thing word for word. Oh, wait, there are. I wonder if that's where you got what you said from. And you think that's your original thought. So the TV telling you what to think is now what you came up with that. That's your, opinion. It's not. That's what they told you to think. They're still there. Doing their weird Justin shit. Like squirming around. Doing something. Like their weird zombie shit. And you can hear it. It's really weird. They might say the same thing about me, like, oh, I can hear them, it's really weird. I'm alone in my own home. And I can hear them, like, they might say the same thing about me. It's like, well, I can't hear them when they're in their place. And even if I can, I just ignore them. Like, I don't pay attention. They don't have anything to say that I care enough about. Obviously, they're the ones that care. So they're the ones that are peeping Tom. They're voyeurism. And then they're trying to claim I'm voyeuristic. And I'm like, dude, I'm tired of this zombie rumor bullshit. And how is it that they can start a rumor like that, but I can't? You know why? Because they're zombies. They're in the group of stupid. And they believe any stupid fucking thing that they say. And they don't listen to me because I'm not on their stupid level where I just speak nonsense. I speak intelligence, and so that shuts their brain off. That is like the light switch on their brain. It just flicks right off, dude. You say something intelligent, it's like hitting a brick wall with them. They're like, you just said something that makes sense. I don't understand. I'm so used to being stupid. Not that that's their accent or nothing, or I was just trying to sound stupid. Like, we live in a prison, but we need to live our lives to where we're not being enslaved by the prison in a way. Like, we're supposed to be free, but we're not. You think you're free, but you're not. You think you can go to work tomorrow, but you can't. You think you chose that. You didn't. So in a way, we're all here and we're all free, but in a way, we're really, really not. And it's like, the longer you ignore that, the quicker this apocalypse that I was told is coming. It's not a flood. It's not an earthquake. It's so different. It's like an incremental dumbing down, a prison planet, a frog boiling in a pot, and when you're boiled, you won't even know it. You won't even know it. And you'll still be like defining your existence through the prison. Like, you'll feel free even though you're in a prison. And so you'll feel free. You'll feel like you have to go to work tomorrow. But you don't even realize, like, you're in a prison that you're not really for, but you think you're for it. Like, you'll defend your prison because that's the only thing you know. It's like the Matrix. The Matrix is a system. The system is our enemy. These people are firemen, carpenters, lawyers, the very minds of the people we want to wake up. But until we wake them up, they are our enemy, and will defend the only thing that they know. They will defend it. They will not care what you have to say or wake up or nothing. Which I think the Matrix was stolen from Alex Huxley. Alex Huxley made the Matrix movie. I mean, he made the idea, and then somebody stole it from him because he never really finished it. And then they made a movie, but it was based all off of Alex Huxley. So I can go and get a job and try to define my existence through my job. And people tell me that. They're like, you have to define your existence through your job. I'm like, no, I know I can do that. You're the retard that's never thought of anything any differently in your entire life. You're not telling me something new. You're telling me exactly what I know and thinking that I don't know. You're regurgitating your mindless nonsense propaganda babble to me. And I know it. I know exactly word for word the repetitive bullshit that you're going to say, because I've heard the same fucking thing from everybody else. That doesn't necessarily make it true. Everybody can believe the world's flat. It doesn't make it true. You can all believe you can define your existence through your own slave, your own job. You can and you can't. Even though that's what I'm doing. It's like, you still live in a prison. I'm doing the same thing as you, except I'm trying to escape the prison from within that, and you're seeking to protect it. It's the only thing you know. You're like the watchdog of the Matrix, and you're a useful idiot. You will attack anybody that tries to escape the Matrix. And you don't know that. It's as a pre-programmed conditioned response built into you to protect your own brainwashing. There's mental triggers, and you don't even know about them. It's called memory recall sometimes. They recall a memory and rewrite it with a new one. So they're updating the propaganda brainwashing. It's like you're in a prison. They're never going to let you know this secret, this one secret. Like, you're in a prison. No matter what you say, what you do, if you don't listen to this one thing, you're retarded. It's like, you live in a prison. You're just living your life in this prison, and you define your existence through that life. The prison doesn't want you to live your life. It wants to kill you. So you think you're living your life. You're not. You're living a death sentence. and you think you're still able to live your life. Like, that is the greatest deception of all. And they have to keep that illusion, the facade of that lie, they have to keep it alive at every second. Even though you're not free, they have to make you believe you're free. So even though they're at your throat, they have to pull that knife back and put it back in their pocket and say, no, you're free to do whatever you want. It's not true. And so that's the biggest deception of all, is that you are in a prison of death that you're gonna die from. You're as good as dead. You're like on the chopping block, ready to just... And they're like, no, it's not true. You live in holiday FEMA camp. You live in Tommy's holiday FEMA camp, where it's like a dystopia. It's a utopia. Everything's great. We're not going to get you. No, we love you. We're liberal. We love you. And that's the dystopia. You think you live in a utopia, and it's like the utopia has its knife to your neck. And you're like, hey, they got their knife to your neck, dude. And they're like, no, what are you talking about? This is all utopia. It's fun and happy. Even though they were about ready to gut you like a fucking pig. And I'm like, oh, man. So it's like, you can define your existence through your slavery. You can define your existence by your menial job. Whatever job you have, you can say, yay, I'm alive and I'm living my life. But until you fight back and then know what you're fighting, this prison planet that surrounds you, that you live in, not the freedom. It's not freedom. You think you have to protect your slave masters. Like, the slave masters aren't going to come out and fight for themselves. They are hoping you're gullible enough and you believe that you're free enough to fight for them. And so, you know, if you go and protest and want to voice your opinion, who's going to be there beating your brains in, telling you to shut the fuck up? It's going to be the slaves, a bunch of underpaid police officers that are paid nothing compared to what they're protecting, and they don't care. They're getting paid. That's the cognitive dissonance, is they don't care if it's good or bad. They're getting paid. That's how they rationalize lying, cheating, and stealing, because at the end of the day, they think they benefit when really they don't. When the rest of mankind falls and their money is worthless, they take their pension funds, just like Alex said. You work for Satan and you get what you deserve, whatever comes out of that. So those people believe they're in the right. They're good. They get paid to do it. They're useful idiot tools. Because I tell you what, I know alchemy, and I know how to turn lead into gold. And I know that's what they're doing. It's called chemistry. It's alchemy. So you go to work for them, protecting their prison, thinking you're getting paid, when with their alchemy and knowledge, they're paying you nothing. They're paying you in the false belief that you can go buy things at Walmart. I got a lot of friends that think they're honest. They think they're honest. They really do. They believe they're a very honest person. And they don't know that they're doing anything wrong. They would never admit to that. So to these people, they're incapable of doing any wrong. But it's not that they do wrong, but they are involved in some. They just don't even know it. And they would never admit to it. They feel very wholesome and full of values. But what you don't know is, even though those people feel like they're doing the right thing, it's like if you look at the Walmart, when the EBT was fucked up at Walmart and there was lines and lines of people and they didn't have any money, they were racking up unlimited stuff on their EBT and they knew they were never going to pay for it. Now, those people are very dishonest. And they clean the shelves of Walmart off. What you gotta understand is, you think you're honest. You need to wake the fuck up and realize that no one else is honest, dude. You think you're honest? Look the fuck around. Do you think Walmart can care if their shelves are empty in a matter of seconds because they fucked up? You think your honesty is going to prevent these people from being honest? I'm not saying to be dishonest. It's like, you better fucking recognize that these people are not your fucking friends, dude. And I don't care how honest you are. On some level, you need to, like, fight back against it and not just say, I'm honest. You gotta fight those that are dishonest. And you're not going to do that by being honest and going to work every day. You might have to take a day off to go fight back. And if you go to work every day, you can't do that. If you're an unfunctional zombie and you can't do anything, you can't go to work, you can't stand up for yourself, you're just unfunctional all the way around. You're not going to do anything. You have to bridge the gap between functional, unfunctional, a knowing, willing person with a choice and a decision and their own ideas and beliefs and shit, and to fight against the bullshit that exists in this world, to look at the bullshit in the face and fight it like Alex Jones does and get in its face. And it's really hard to do. It's hard to get in a zombie's face and to get your face eaten off. So do it with a dash and a sprinkling of intelligence, so you don't fuck yourself. You can't just dive into a zombie horde and expect to come out alive. You're not going to do it. You have to understand the weapons of the warfare, and that this is a war for your mind, and you're in the game. You're playing that game. Your mind is under attack, whether you want to admit it or not. We're all in this together. I don't create all the problems, you don't create all the problems, but together we can figure it all out. But you're not even willing to do that. You just want to remain ignorant, domesticated, docile, and then think that's rebellious. Hey, I got a tattoo of a lemming. I'm rebellious. And it's because I'm a lemming. I like being a lemming. So I got a tattoo and was like, I'm rebellious. I'm a lemming. And I'm like, whatever. Like, my tattoos are a Salvador Dali with fucking triple double meaning. And they were given by a Salvador Dali himself. Like, whatever the fuck you got looks like graffiti by some 3-year-old drew it on your fucking arm. Like, that's not art, dude. You know? Like, mine's a tiger, and it looks like a beautiful tiger, but really it's a woman's face. Maybe a woman that I love. So I don't have a tattoo of a fucking name on her neck. I got the perfect, like, picture copied image of a tiger, and her face is in that tiger. Like Salvador Dali style, motherfucker. And you think you know art. You don't know shit. Like, my tattoos win awards. Yours makes people vomit. You're a fucking lemming zombie. And that's the thing. Somebody could come into my tattoo shop, and I'll show them the Salvador Dali tattoo, and they'll go, that's ugly. I don't really get that. I want Bobby Joe across my neck. Well, how about you bring in a picture of this person, and we'll put it in the scales of a dragon. No, I just want their name on my forehead with a pretty star that says I'm a wizard. Are you a wizard? Like, they don't have the ability to see that. It's like, I want an award for that. Like, they don't. They're just lemming dumb fucks. They're like, I'm gonna spend $1,000 on a tattoo. No, wait a minute, I don't have $1,000. Maybe my friend Billy Bob will do it for me for free. Like, I get tattoos for free from fucking Salvador Dali. Because he wants to win an award. And he gets paid from that. Not from the shitty fucking money I get from a shitty tattoo. He wants to be in a tattoo magazine and be famous. You got some scribbly fucked up shit that's fading out in a week on your fucking arm. How much did you pay for that again? Good for you, man. Oh, wait, you got dirty needles. Now you got staph, hepatitis. Good luck for you, man. Oh, wait, your arm's rotting off. You're nasty. You're diseased. You're fucked. That's what you get, dude. You got that tattoo for free, didn't you? Good for you. You need to look different. You need to put some piercings on your face. Oh, look, I'm so hard and so different. Look, I got a nose piercing. Don't I look so cool? Like, I'm about as fucking dark as you get. I don't have to look like a fucking emo to fucking be, like, all dark and shit. I don't need a tattoo. I don't need, like, shit. I don't have to look dark to be dark. You do. And that means that you're just empty inside. That there's nothing inside of you. You have to put it on the facade of the outside. When with me, it's different. My facade is just whatever. But deep inside, that I got all the tattoos and the piercings on the inside. I'm not afraid to be different. I'm afraid to be the same. The same old dumb lemming dumb fuck that got a tongue piercing because it was cool and trendy. Like, when I was raised, I was told not to follow lemmings and to be smart and to like solar panels and to use a brain. They were raised quite differently. They were raised to follow trends, to be a lemming, to find happiness in being a lemming. When for some reason I'm like, well, I don't know where I grew up at, but what I know is to not be a lemming. Even the church I went to was like, don't be a lemming. Like, the path to hell is much more followed than the path to heaven. And I thought, it's like, yeah, it seems like that's what lemmings do, is they follow each other to hell, when there's only one set of footprints going to heaven, and there's not really much of a trail there. And I thought, don't be a lemming. Really follow God. God will take care of you. Not that He'll take care of you, but if you make a conscious decision to do something, to fight for freedom, I doubt He's just going to be like, you didn't follow my command, you're dead, now you're going to hell. My teeth are fucked up. God damn it. I was told I can go get a really good job with dental. Just being creative. Like I could join an art studio that needs a type of creation, like just, and then like I'd get a lot of money, fix my teeth, but I have to let go and join the rat race and kind of do it. So it's like, if that's true, then if people judge me by just things like that, it's like, then they're not judging me for who I am, because if I can go and do that and then, I'm cool and trendy, but then if I don't, no, I'm not cool and trendy, then it's like, who cares what they think? Like, they only like you when you suit their needs. How about they suit my needs and I'll like them? How about I forsaken them? They can't forsaken me, I forsaken them. No, you could never do that, because you're a lemming. Lemmings don't forsaken each other unless you're not a lemming like me. They can forsaken me, but no, I could never forsaken them. I call that dodging the bullet. Dodging the lemming bullet. Because it's like, you will just be deceived. They will say they love you. They really don't. They'll say it. They don't really, they don't know. Or, so they're like doomed to fail, and they think it's succeeding. I'm surprised the gang stalkers haven't bothered me, or harassed me, or used some gaslighting techniques on me, try to make me look crazy. Come on with your gaslighting techniques. You know? Maybe you can make some other lemmings live in fear Oh my God. Could you imagine what would happen if you think for yourself? Oh my God, turn it off. This goes against my lemming way of thought. Oh God, oh God. Don't let any voices in. Don't let any... Don't make any sense. Don't let any intelligent in. Don't let the light in. I want to stay in the dark. I want to be ignorant my whole life. I don't want to hear anything any different than what I already know and what I've been indoctrinated to believe. You live in a prison called ignorance, and you think it's bliss. And you think if you ignore everything and everyone else, and you've forsaken me and forsaken what I think, that you can just go and be a lemming and it's okay. When there is a new world order, and it's not your lemming bullshit. It's like Final Fantasy, the movie, where a ghost planet and this planet merge together. It's like, but you're the ghost. And the new planet will be like the new world order. It'll be, God said, if you find yourself in prison, look for the Holy Land, and I will provide you your own place. Well, when the whole world is a prison planet, and He'll make a whole new world, and that'll be the new world order, is all the lemmings can be on the prison planet, and all the free people can go and live their happy lives away from all the prison, from the lemmings and the imprisonment from them, from their stupidity, like zombies. They're like fucking lemming zombies. So you can be doomed to your own lemming ignorant prison. You can just live in ignorance your whole life, and that's your prison. But God will supply us with a new world order where we don't have to follow any trend. We can think and live free, independently. We can be together, living free, independently, but together. A United States. Independent and united. Or something, not United States, but that's what it should have been, Anyways, I'm gonna go. I ran out of coffee. I'm gonna get thirsty. I probably gotta pee. The video will probably end up censored before too long. Or, well, really, I guess the buffer loop might only be able to take an hour or two, without being, like, too paranoid, you know what I mean? You're afraid of the dark. You're afraid of the light. You're afraid. You're afraid to know. You want to live in ignorance. That's fine. You live in ignorance. I have a theory of what'll happen, which is backed up by really old kids' stories. The Pied Piper led the rats down the street. Anyways, I forgot. I'm gonna go. Cigarette smell. Help me. I just want to stop smoking. I farted.